Holy cow. My driveway is about gone. Where is it? On a stick? Oh, look at that stick. Look at that stick. Oh, careful, buddy. All right, so we are back. Oh, there's a hair. We are back from Ohio. That was fun. Nice and beautiful and warm here in Tennessee, but it's time to get back to work. What's Josh doing in here?
Figuring out little support brackets.
So we came up with an issue. Show us what the issue is here. Oh yeah. So we need to come up with some sort of triangulation. I've got these little 90s that we're gonna weld on right here. That should stiffen it up a little bit. Josh is making some templates for some pieces to go right here. Cherokees weren't meant for this. They had a lot of flex in their little unibody frames, and we don't want that flex.
We want flex.
We want flex, but not flex, if that makes sense. All right, let's see just with two how much improvement we made. Yo, Josh! It still wiggles and jiggles.
Oh yeah.
I think the frame is a little wiggly and jiggly. Oh, look at this. People in our Dodge videos, overwhelmingly, they said that these were to go in a cow's stomach to attract the metal, just like that one is doing.
I saw that, and I saw
Fidget spinners.
fidget spinners and scrappers.
Oh, scrappers to check their metal?
Yeah.
I almost wonder, though, if these originated from going into cow's stomach and then somebody was like, hey, let's just turn these into kids' toys because we got a bunch of these lying around. We had to make a huge order. What is that for real? I need a link. Leave a link for that. I want to see what it really is. I think you're just extraordinarily strong, maybe.
I think so. It's not moving as much, but it's still moving.
All right, we'll keep going. For some reason, we have a lift, and we have the Jeep on the lift, and we're still working on the floor. Why is that? Why does this keep happening to us? We've got the bracing on the top now as well. That's a lot stiffer.
It's a lot stiffer.
Success. Yay. Let's check in with Hope, see what she's brought today.
I got taters and meatloaf.
Meatloaf?
See?
Let's see.
I can't.
Here.
It's hot. Careful.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
That looks homemade. Is that homemade?
Yes. It's totally homemade. Bacon jam.
Bacon jam?
That's what it says.
What kind of jam is bacon jam?
You're looking at it.
Smell something cooking. Ah, he's grilling. What you grilling?
Well, come over here, I'll show you. We got some medium rare beefy knuckles on the grill. Look at that.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be delicious.
Can't wait. Hopefully weld sticks to olive oil.
Actually, everybody in the comments section has been saying instead of using that spray, that weld spray, to use Pam.
Huh.
So maybe we ought to try that.
You're onto something.
So probably not super important, but since this is cast steel, we're going to go ahead and heat it up to 400 degrees. All of the electron molecules get aligned in such a way that it makes it super strong. When you're putting heat into one section of it, then that's going to heat up that section, and then it's going to cool that section. And it's just going to be stronger if we heat up the whole thing evenly. That way when we add the weld on the one side, it's not cooling off faster than the other side, right? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Anybody know what Rancho uses for paint on their knuckles? Because that stuff's great.
It's got to be Duplicolor for
It's
sure.
got to be Duplica.
There we go. Whew, that stinks. That's difficult to weld. It doesn't want to weld correctly. It's almost like you're welding through paint or something. We were wondering how we were going to let that cool off. Wrapping it in a blanket works, but another way, duh, stick it back in the oven. So the idea is to let these cool off slowly rather than quickly. And the reason being is because there's different types of metals in there, and they crack whenever one cools faster than the other. So we're going to heat these back up a little bit and then just cool them down slowly in there. Kind of like glass, I guess. You know how they put glass in the oven for, what, 12 or 24 hours after they make it?
Yeah.
I want you to imagine stripping down your PJs, your boxers, naked, whatever you do, and swaddling up inside this thing for a night's sleep. You see what a magical night that would be?
Have you tried that?
I don't like touching this thing at all.
This is a fiberglass blanket, and it's nasty. It'll make you itch for a week every time you touch it. It's time to address body roll. For that, we've got this box. Inside this box is a Rock Jock anti-rock sway bar. So if you remember, that's what I have on the Scorpion. And what it's going to do is allow us to not have body roll. So it's going to allow you to have a sway bar that stays on permanently. You know how a lot of Jeeps have sway bar disconnects. Well, this doesn't have any disconnect. It has just enough play in it to be able to maintain your sway on the road, but have enough where it flexes off-road.
Yeah, universal kit. You can get them in tons of different lengths. Basically any length you want.
So did you measure correctly?
I measured.
So this bar gets welded in between the frame on, we're going to put this on the back.
Yes.
And then there's a sway bar inside there. This gets bolted to that sway bar, like so. And then that end gets bolted with a link. Where's the links? These links to the axle. All right, we've done some discussing. I wanted to show you guys this before I forget. So you have to do all this in stages. We have to do it at full bump. We have to do it at full, what's the other one besides full bump?
Droop.
Full droop. And then we have to do it at full articulation. So that's where we're at now. Here's what we've decided. We've got us a little drawing here of where that tube is going to go. That's where the torsion bar is going to go, right here, where this circle is. There's a bolt coming through the frame right here, so we had to kick that back a little bit further than we wanted. But then, hold that aluminum chunk up through there.
I've been looking around like a wild man, not because I'm crazy, but because I don't know where that chunk is.
Alright, so that guy is going to go right there. It's a little bit hard to see, but then aim the other end up. There we go. So the reason we wanted to look at it this way is to make sure that this was going to clear the tire. So it's basically going to sit like this right there, and we still have a finger width right there. Everything is so tight, but it is going to clear along with the spring. You can see the spring there from the shocks. So when the tire gets full stuffed, it's going to go up like this, and when the tire goes down, this thing is going to then pivot down like that. Maybe that'll be more apparent when we get it installed, but now we can go ahead and cut our holes because we know where it's going to sit.
I'll drill those out and we'll try and slide that pipe through and see how good my measurements were. Maybe it's just me. I only went through 4 drill bits. Sorry, Matt. More will be here Friday. That's not even close. Not even close. That's what happens when you're trying to square around a tube that's not square, I guess. Huh.
I'm here to inspect. I don't think that looks perfectly straight.
Nope.
What happened there?
See, I pushed it through the other side and it's a lot closer. It's not 4 inches off like the other side is. What happened there?
Yeah, what happened there?
I don't know. I'm gonna blame it on the drill bit walking.
Mm-hmm. You know Alan from APOC Design? He sent me this and I wanted to show it to you. I thought it was funny as crap.
That's great.
I think we should do that. Have that at some point.
We can do that.
If you're not familiar, that's Bumble from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
The Abominable Snowman.
Yes, the abominable snowman monster from that movie. If you've not seen that movie, then you really need to see it. It's awesome. One of the best.
Bumble's bounce!
So at full droop, you want to make sure that this doesn't go completely straight, because if it did, then it could reverse and swing out the other way, and then you'd have a mess on your hands. There's another little tip for you. Find you a piece of tubing just lying around. That way you can weld it to your table and have a place to set your MIG tip. But make sure that the hole is big enough that you can also set your plasma torch as well.
And make sure you use quarter wall DOM so it's really nice and sturdy and expensive.
That's not quarter wall DOM. Scrap tubing. Hey Josh, come check out what I got for you. I got you a surprise just for you.
Is this a big first aid kit? Sweet.
Since you like to hurt yourself so often,
Yeah.
I have you loaded up.
Oh, tourniquets.
Tourniquet. I bought a whole pack of these because I didn't think that they came in here. So we have enough to lose like 18 appendages.
What kind of accidents happening in here? Somebody needs to call an ambulance.
I'll show you a little trick that I learned from the last time I did this. I sharpened the end, so I just put that on a grinder, sharpened the edge there so it'll start in the hole. That way, you don't have to fight it. Okay. All right, I want to do a little time lapse and show you guys how this thing works. Check this out. All right, so that's it in a nutshell, the anti-rock. So if you wanted to tighten this up, what you would do is move this up to the further holes here. There's also some adjustment on the bottom. And what that'll do is stiffen things up. So the closer you go into the center, the stiffer that's gonna be and less sway you're gonna have. And then further out, it's gonna be softer. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna be working on back here is the bump cans, which we're gonna put right up here, we think. Pads down here, but we don't have those quite yet, so we'll have to move on to something else. What's our next task that we can't actually work on?
That we can't actually, there's a lot back here that needs work on. Fuel cell's gonna go here.
We don't have that either.
Fuel pump and stuff, but
We don't have that either.
We have that. Are we on a time crunch now?
We are on a time crunch because I told Josh the other day, if we can get this finished, we'll take it to EJS. Woo! You think you can have it done?
We can have it mobile.
Look at this. It's how many weeks until EJS? Like 3?
3.5.
All right. We have our work cut out for us. Colt doesn't think we can do it because I was just on the phone with him and he said, if you don't get the WJ done, you should bring the Dodge, which tells me he has little confidence.
Oh. Have more confidence, Colt. Everything he's ever built has been a time crunch for EJS and has gone to EJS with 0 testing. So why should this be any different?
Exactly. That's how you got to do it. You got to put it on the trailer the night before at 4 a.m., leaving at 6 a.m. for EJS, never having flexed it. Install anti-rock. There you go. Now go for it.
All right.
Woo! We accomplished something! Good job! We got to record our stupidness. We had a thought. Can you articulate a vehicle without straps on the lift using one of these jacks? We're about to find out. Let's see what happens here. It's working so far. Oh. It's still hanging. Look at that. It's working. Okay, I think we found our answer. It is possible, but only if this jack has something to snag on as it's trying to slide off the axle. Don't try this at home. So we're looking at bump stops here. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. All right, we talked about this before, but at the time we didn't have the steel. We're gonna fix Josh's rock sliders today so they stop bending every time he hits a mud puddle. And we're gonna do it all in 1 hour, right Josh?
1 hour. One extended long second hour.
Okay, 1 second is 1 minute for this hour. Let's get started. So first things first, we need 3 bars. I would say one goes right about here, here, and maybe right here towards the end.
Yep.
We need to cut an opening in this 2 inches wide. What I found in my bathroom.
Ooh, a Sharpie. Ooh, a Sharpie. Ooh, a Sharpie. Oh, wow. Look at all those. We've been on a Sharpie shortage.
This is what you wear to keep from losing all your hair.
It smells like burning hair right now.
If only we had smell-o-vision.
Oh, yeah.
That actually looks like something you'd wear. So I think you got it on backwards. There you go. Covers your neck. Alright, so these pieces are gonna go up in here like this. Oh yeah. Then that's gonna get welded in, and that will provide lots of support. Look at that. That's fancy.
So it's not gonna bend anymore?
Well, no, it won't bend, but at the same time, it's going to weigh about 7,000 pounds by the time we're done. So much for having this complete in 1 hour. So we're having a storm that's going to come through today at around 2. It's only noon, and we're already losing power for some reason. It's going to be pretty windy. I think the trees are falling over and landing on the lines. We can't get anything done with no power.
How'd they do it 150 years ago? How'd they build their cars?
Yeah.
How'd they build the rock crawlers?
Yeah. Hammers and chisels. Getting crazy out here.
How fast the clouds are going. Nuts. I don't know.
If a tornado comes, which Jeep are you choosing?
Scorpion's got the best cage, but it's open.
Yeah.
Comanche?
Comanche's outside though. Would you rather be in the shop in a good...
Wait.
The zombie Jeep?
Isn't that what this is built for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust that cage though. It's just for show, not for protecting anything.
Yeah, it smells a little bit.
We've got our Blue Eddy over here charging. What are we at now? 59%. We've run out of ideas of what to work on, so Josh is over here. Gonna start on the transfer case because we don't need power or welders or grinders for that. At least not yet.
Not yet.
Bin pack light sticks up there. Got this little guy on Amazon for a Milwaukee battery. Here it comes. And now the lights just popped back on. Don't expect that to last very long. Now that you can see, what are you working on over here?
Putting this output shaft in. This is the Novak, the 32 spline conversion. Shorty. So it's snubbed down real short, and it's a lot stronger than the factory, which I believe was 26 spline. Stronger and shorter. This was a big weak point with the 300s, the rear output shaft breaking. And now the case is going to break long before this output shaft breaks.
From what we understand, that's the weak link of these Dana 300s is the case itself.
Yep. The case itself, so the gears, they want to push apart just because they're helically cut, and so it just tries to spread this case apart. And I mean, this is a nice heavy chunk of cast iron, but it's still cast, and it just busts. I've seen them break different ways. Seen them split around this way, but I've also seen this whole back half of the case pop off.
You're breaking my hammer. Look at that. I see the problem. It's saying to use an actual mallet without blue stuff all over it. Really coming down out there now. Oh yeah. Now we have a new issue. I think flooding is our next issue. Holy cow. It's filling up fast. We better pick up anything in here that we don't want wet off the floor.
Everything.
Oh, look at that now. We got about 1 inch here. My driveway is about gone. Look at my poor driveway. For all you Californians that are wanting to move to Tennessee, better not do it. Too much rain here for you guys. Holy cow. I'm gonna get a push broom and start pushing it over there. I used to do this as a kid on the playground. It's bringing back memories.
Back then it was fun though. Although you are smiling, maybe you are having a good time. It's working. You see the water moving that way. As good as I get with this.
Alright, now that the rainwaters are subsiding, we can get back to this. We've got power still, so that's good. So we've already told you that the reason we're bracing these is because they keep bending, but the problem that we had was figuring out how to get a bar from here to here without making it something that would hang up on the rocks all the time. So that's why we've got this opening here, and these are angled now, and we're going to put those up as far as possible. So now, you may not think this is a big deal, but when you're doing some hardcore off-roading, you want things tucked up as tight as possible so that as you're sliding across the rocks, nothing is sticking down like this and catching. That's why we didn't just weld it across the bottom like this, because then that would hang up on something every time you slid across the rocks. Think of it like doing a slide on a skateboard and then just hanging up on a big 2x2 piece of something. That's what we're trying to avoid. So that's gonna get stuck up there like that and welded in place. Alright, so before that thing would just go up and down. Oh yeah, not going anywhere now. That was pretty funny when you'd see him come out of the hatch on the trail and you always knew what was up. What
are you doing?
I'll show you.
You'll show me.
I am the safety police. Now, Josh won't burn his eyebrows off so often, because anytime he's on fire, I'll just be like, I got you, bro!
Yeah, I'm sure that would be great on his eyebrows. Good idea.
Got one here, one here.
Oh, you're fancy.
They even match the lift, you see?
Oh.
I gotta put one over here and one on this side somewhere. I'm gonna be so safe.
So safe. Matt would like those.
The top. It's on there nice, and it will shift through the gears. So good, there's one phase, one transfer case pretty much done.
You'll have the prettiest Dana 300 of anyone after this.
That you'll never be able to see.
We'll put a mirror under there somewhere.
Yeah, we got that Novak output shaft conversion put in. It was actually really easy. It comes fully assembled, pre-shimmed and everything. You have to pull the bearing off to get one gear back on, but it couldn't have been simpler, and it has color directions if you need that, which I did.
Since you can't read, you've been watching a YouTube video.
It's got pictures. Gearbox video.
So if you ever need to do a Dana 300, this guy seems to have it going on. Dana 300 transfer case rebuild by Gearbox Video. Oh yeah. We are so safe. That is a lot of needly bearings. We've got to fit that into there and shove a rod through it without any bearings falling out.
We're going to make sure that it's lined up where the hold downs got to go.
Okay, we're back under here again, working on the transfer case this time. We're trying to debate how we're going to do this, because this thing is really heavy.
Yeah, I think it's 80 pounds.
And trying to manhandle that into place is difficult. It wouldn't be so bad if we knew where it went, but the problem is we need to figure out, this has a clocking ring, so this is the Froelich adapter, and then the Froelich adapter. So it clocks. You can put it anywhere you want it, but we have to figure out where that's going to be, and we don't know yet. So we're going to have to lift it into place and kind of figure out where we want it clocked before we can pull it back off, bolt it all together, and then slide it on for the final time. All of this stuff is upside down, so the ports that you would typically drain from are now our fill ports and vice versa. So it's all very much a custom job here. It's not really made to just bolt right in. We might have to cut out the floorboard too, depending on how high this thing sits. So that's what we're trying to figure out now.
I guess it will sit on the shaft. That'll make it kind of easier.
If we can rotate it just right. Okay, new issue. All right, Mr. Joshua cut down the shaft, so let's give that a shot here. All right, fellas, check that out. We've done quite a lot of work since the last time we spoke. Right here, we've cut out for the transfer case to fit up inside, so that's gonna have to get closed back up. Same thing on this side. We have clocked that up as far as possible, but at the same time, making sure the drive shaft still works at full stuff. These hold the, what would you call those?
Shifter cables.
Shifter cables. This is the JB Fab shift, what would you call that?
Twin stick shifter.
There you go. Twin stick shifters with the cables. We just now are trying to figure out if those cables are going to be the right length, because the cables, the shifters are going to go right about here on the other side of this, about like that. And then the cables have to get run somewhere around here. We're thinking it's going to be a hole, and then that makes a loop, comes through these holes, and then over here to these shift rails, which is going to shift this thing into 4 low and all that good stuff. All right, so we're going to lower this thing down and see where we can mount those shifters.
That sheet will still bolt in there.
That's going to be sticking out right into your seat. Josh, it's kind of a mess in here.
It's a big mess in here.
Where are you thinking on putting those JB Fab shifters?
Those plan is to go somewhere right in here, right on top of the transfer case now. But, oh, sorry.
I would say the hole could probably be right about here.
Hole.
Yay! I just got through saying his Jeep was going to be so drafty up in here, but his grommet has a little, what would you call that? Today's video is titled, what would you call that?
Shoot.
Big meaty hands are in the way. I can't see anything. There we go. Look at that. It's starting to look like something now.
And this will be covered by skid plate.
It's trying to move. There it goes. All right. So, tomorrow I have to leave for Utah to be a judge and be so judgy in the record games. So I'm going to be gone for a week, but by the time I get back, I want this thing ready to go to Moab.
All right. It's almost ready.
It's so close.
Fold the seats in. We got the Bluetooth drive shafts.
So for those of you who are going to be at Easter Jeep Safari, if we can get this done in time, we shall bring it there. And we look forward to seeing you then. Until then, check out these videos right over here. We've got a lot more great stuff for you. We'll see you next Sunday. What would you call that?
Shoot.